Ladies and gentlemen, for the 24th time, I give you Simon Little, DJ Dilworth, What a Load of Bowls, brought to you by the Bowls Academy. Mr. Simon Little, owner, director, company organizer. How are you, mate?
I'm good, DJ. Welcome back, everyone, for another week of What a Load of Bowls. DJ, before we get started, just had a look, DJ, at our stats for our podcast. Ticked over 4,000 downloads, DJ.
Yeah! Not bad.
How about that?
That's just downloads. That's not even like listens.
Correct, yeah. That's just downloads. So, pretty pleased with that, DJ, after 24 episodes. So we've cracked over the 4,000 mark. So, what's our next target, do you reckon?
4,010. I'll just keep going, see how we go, mate. That was good.
Yep,
that's good.
Good now. So, how's your week?
Kept that up your sleeve?
Yeah, I did. How's your week been, DJ? I heard you had a bit of phone trouble.
Oh, mate, don't. Why did you?
Is it?
Why did you go there? Yes, I have had an absolute dire 48 hours.
Yeah.
And I was quite naive to just how much my life is on that phone, both work and personal and everything, because for the last 48 hours, mate, it has been a nightmare. There's been like no contact with anyone, or people are ringing and I don't have their numbers. Oh, yeah. And for anyone, so if you've got an iPhone and you happen to damage the back of it, heads up. You've got to replace all the internals, all right? And please make sure you've got plenty of space on your phone, because I did the right thing and I backed up.
Yeah.
Now, this backup came off this phone, all right? I've brought the phone in to be fixed. They broke it further, so I had to give me a new phone. Oh, great, brand new phone, happy days. Same model. But then, same model with the same amount of memory, but then my backup that came off the other phone wouldn't go onto the new phone because the new phone said there wasn't enough memory. Now, explain to me how 230 gig doesn't go into 256. Anyway, an hour and a half on the web chat and then 2 hours on the phone call, I was still no better off. Anyway, I found a solution, but yes, it has been an absolute nightmare last 2 days. Yeah, no emails, no nothing. It's just, mate.
I thought you'd ghosted me for 2 days, DJ. I was messaging you about this coming up episode and what we were doing and got just nothing from you.
It was funny today when you rang, wasn't it? Like, I know you said I'm not allowed to have a go at your accent anymore, but you rang today, I had no idea who I was talking to.
Thought you deleted
me off your phone. Yeah, good. Who's this? How did you introduce yourself?
I'm not going to say.
Okay, well, I'll not tell everyone about how you were raving about being the best producer in podcasts. Yes. Other than that, mate, quiet week. Good weekend for you, but you didn't lose any balls this weekend, mate. Well done.
Didn't lose any balls games, did you? No. So yeah, that was good. No balls this weekend. Had a weekend.
No, that was good. We're not like we said last week. We're not quite old enough to play in that old fellows competition.
Yeah, the over 40s.
Yeah,
happening over the weekend. So yeah.
You get under 15s, you get under 18s, you get under 25s, you get over 40s, and you get over 60s, and then you get the veterans and over 70s. So we're just being excluded. Our little age group. 25 to 40, just forgot about it. Just we
need to bring that in, DJ. What about that? Just another competition to add to the calendar.
Why not? Why not?
Chuck it
in. While you're doing it, just add another month to the calendar will be right.
Yeah.
Funny enough, before we came on, Michael Beaumont texted me and goes, DJ, trying to book a holiday next year. When do you recommend? I'm like, mate, you can't. There's not a time you can't miss something.
Yeah, you just have to.
It's just like there's something on all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, DJ, moving on, we've got what was happening around the greens last week that we can report back on. Broadbeach 5-a-side, that concluded on Friday.
Broadbeach finished off, man. I'll start her off there. So the final the top six will go for. Cabramatta finished top of the table, followed by Helensville, which means them two got a direct bye into the semi-finals. Warilla Gorillas came in third, so they had to play the sixth place Club Pine Rivers, and then Raymond Terrace Jets up against Nelson Bay. Now, you were quite interested to find Nelson Bay in there, weren't you?
Yeah, I thought, well done to the guys from Nelson Bay. There was a few other teams I would have definitely put above those guys, so yeah, well done to the Nelson Bay guys and getting down to the nitty-gritty and pointy end on a Thursday.
Well, they've beat New South Wales team that's beat most of the Platinum teams. So Cabramatta, Warilla, Raymond Terrace, all Platinum, and then Nelson Bay in there, and you've still got Maryland's Magic, aren't doing very magic at the moment. Drop down there, and then you've got St. John's Saints, only 13th, mate. You wouldn't have seen that.
No,
maybe all their bowlers had to stay behind and work in the Bulls office. I don't know.
You do like to have a dig at the old St. John's Park Bulls office, DJ.
Anthony Cawley bites every time. I'll love it. Bearsfield did well. Soldiers Point, all right. Yeah, just look at the New South Wales teams. Engadine, mate, 19th. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'll say nothing.
Well, you just leave it at that. Well. Anyway, right on, mate. So, like we said, Raymond Terrace up against Nelson Bay. The Battle of Port Stevens. And then Warilla Gorillas up against Pine Rivers. What happened?
Nelson Bay came off with 2 victories in the first session, DJ, pairs and triples.
Yep.
They managed to get 2 wins there and went on to the next session, which was singles and fours. And they had a defeat. Raymond Terrace won the singles. But they managed then to get a draw on the fours. So that got them through 5 points to 3.
Nelson Bay over Raymond Terrace. Oof.
Nelson Bay over the Jets, right?
Oh. No, Raymond Terrace, not Geelong.
Sorry, Raymond Terrace. Yeah, okay.
That'll never get old. Anyway, and the other one there, mate, Warilla Gorillas up against the Pine Rivers Pirates.
Yeah, so Warilla came on top in both sessions there. DJ, 2 wins in the pairs and triples, and 2 wins, singles and fours. So
pretty
8-0 victory there going through.
Yeah. Pretty clean cut, mate. So that sent then, what did we get for the semi-final lineup? Warilla and Nelson Bay obviously through. So Cabramatta then had the pleasure of playing Nelson Bay, and Helensville Hawks up against the Warilla Gorillas, mate. How did that pan out? So
Helensville and the Gorillas, that was a game apiece in the pairs and triples. So all tied after the first session. And second session, singles and fours. Warilla came through in the singles. And it was a draw in the fours. 8-all. Close game there.
That was. Well, draws usually are close games, Simon, yes.
Thanks, DJ.
Not too many blowouts and draws, mate.
No.
So don't you cut that out.
I'll decide. So Warilla Gorillas came through there, 5-3 victory over
Warilla Gorillas into the grand final.
Yep. And then Cabramatta over Nelson Bay. DJ, that was all one-sided there. Cabra won the pairs and triples first session, and then the singles and fours in the second session, 8-0 victory.
So that sets up a blockbuster.
Yeah.
The third time this year that these two clubs have faced off in a major final. They had the Warilla Forest side earlier in the year that went the way of Cabramatta.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the Platinum Pennant final, first ever Platinum Pennant final, Cabramatta versus Warilla. And that went the way of Cabramatta. Both of those on the Warilla carpet.
Yeah, tough going there.
Here we are on the lush greens of Broadbeach Bowls, mate. Yeah. And how did it go?
Well, Cabramatta went back-to-back, DJ. Victorious.
Back-to-back and three over Warilla this year.
Yeah.
Not bad, hey? Not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty good club, that Warilla, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, Cabramatta. Well, they're both good clubs.
Both good clubs,
but,
DJ. And both strong players for both clubs, really. And yeah, Cabramatta came over victorious and brought home the chocolates, DJ, and big fat check. So, yeah, it was good result for Cabramatta, as you say. It's got a bit of a hold of Warilla this year, really. Yeah.
There's a little monkey on the back. There's a bit of a gorilla on the back, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that'll get them motivated for going through next year and trying to do something different in 2025.
Yeah.
So when the Platinum Pennant and all that rolls around, but there you go. And maybe they'll go to Cabramatta's Forest side and try and take that off there.
Absolutely, yeah. But it was good, DJ, on social media. They had some interviews with the players and things like that as the week was going on. So, yeah, definitely good coverage, DJ, from Broadbeach 5-a-side in terms of live stream, some player interviews thrown in there as well. So, yeah, anyone didn't see it, you can jump on there, and the games are still on there on the Broadbeach Bulls Facebook page.
Yeah, brilliant. Fantastic competition. Should be more of it, maybe a national one, mate. What do you think?
I think so, DJ.
Right, mate. We touched on it already, but the over 40s was played on the weekend. 32 finalists have made it through. So there was, I'll just run through them quickly, mate, before we move on. Central Coast, Scott Webster, Peter Lavery from Terrigal, Luke Rash and Sean Love from Davistown RSL, and John Wiblin and Hemi Palmer from Edelong. So 3 through from the Central Coast. Hunter Valley, mate, love it. 2 teams through. All Club Maitland City. Ben Huckstad and Brian Jones, Darren Kelly, Andrew Reese. Not only that, when they played their finals, they played against Maitland City as well. So there were 6 final spots in our area. We took up 5 of them. Not bad for considering we started the comp with 9. So well done to those Club Maitland City
KPIs
ones.
hit there for DJ at Club Maitland City.
Women's pairs. We've got the women's regional pairs. We've got the men's open senior and the open reserve fours. Now we've got 2 over 40s too. We've still got the triples and singles to come. The women have won the Division 2 flag in the pennant. Mate, the budget is blown out already. So it is.
Unreal.
Blown out
DJ.
already.
Taking over the country.
Yeah. Anyway, Manning Great Lakes, Daniel Jessup and Craig Donsford from Tuncurry, just the one team through from that area. Metro Northwest, Pete Harry and Sean Thompson from Marylands. Edward Williams, Brendan Conway from Wenty Leagues, Jeremy Roach and Luke Fleming from Marylands. Greater Newcastle got 5 through.
5?
State Match Committee chairman must be from there, mate. 5 teams from Newcastle. Cheers. If you're going to Yamba that weekend, get out. Anyway, Dean Govan and Dave Govan from Beresfield, Mark Casey and Troy Ball from Hamilton North, David Tarrant and Lee Penman from Soldiers Point, Chris Smith, Ryan Hitchcock from Cardiff, and Gavin Burston and Adam Gleeson from Soldiers Point. Illawarra only got 2 through, Russell Taylor and Shane Jones from Corrimal, and then Paul Smith and Scotty Bateup from Bombadary. Scotty Bateup still going strong. Metro Northeast, one team, Stuart McLeod and Adam Glue from Monavale. Metro Southwest, your little area, mate.
Yep.
Robert Johnson and Daniel Scanlon from Engadine. Wesley Falcon and Ann Johns from Engadine. And then little known pair from Tarrant Point, Ray Pearce and David Axton, mate.
Good on the lads, yeah.
Yeah. What way did they play that one?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Don't know, DJ.
Good to see you're interested. Metro Southwest, Jared Beath and David Ferguson from St John's Park, Rick Lucy and James Reynolds from Cabramatta. Midwest, Justin Bartlett and Warren Turney from West Dubbo, Craig Pugsley and Jody Taggart from Wallerawang. What a name. Northwest, one team, Donald Morgan and Jared Hunt from Lightning Ridge. Riverina Murray, one team again, Greg Crampton and Timothy Crampton from Club Tumut. Mid-North Coast, we had Brandon Mayer and Paul Harrison from, I love that one, it's War Choppy as far as I'm concerned, but it's Warhope. The Nepean Highlands got 3 teams through, Michael Thorne, Benjamin McCall from Bargo. That's a good team there, isn't it? It's
it is
mate Benny, isn't it?
Yep.
Nicholas Darius and Rodney Crane from Lawson, Shane Garvey and Dean Aiken from Bargo as well. So, yeah, Shane Garvey, a blast from the past.
Yep.
Northern Rivers, Justin Jones and David Cranwell from Condong. And finally, from Southeast, Matthew Griffiths and Scotty Matheson from Huskisson. Some legendary names in amongst there too, mate, isn't there?
Well-known names in there, DJ.
Yeah.
It definitely will be a strong competition. And hard to go past Tarrant Point boys, DJ.
Why, just
Axon Pierce.
Especially if they stand side by side, it'd take a while to get around them, wouldn't it?
So, yeah, look, there's a few good names in there. David Ferguson, Jared Beath, they're going to be hard to beat, I reckon, as well. DJ, as you say, like Scotty Bateup, been around a long time, can't play bowls.
Pete Harry and Sean Thompson from Maryland.
That's a good pair as well from Maryland, definitely. Yeah, like a few good pairs in there, DJ, and I'm sure there'll be a few good competitions, a few good matchups in that over 40s state pairs.
Couldn't help but notice you didn't mention any Engadine teams there, mate. A bit of bias towards Tarrant Point.
Oh, look, you have to support the boys and teammates and go on the TP.
Exactly. Right, what have we got next, mate?
Yeah, DJ, we've got New South Wales bowling arm side playing currently this week.
Yep, they are. They're up.
What's the
up
format? What way is it being run?
I'm still working that out. But there's 6 states, mate, so there is. The only ones missing are ACT and Northern Territory. So looking at the ladder after 2 days, this is Tuesday night, like we keep mentioning. Victoria lead the way with 2 wins, 85 points. Queensland in second with 1 win and a loss, 63 points. New South Wales played 2, won 2. So they've actually got more wins than Queensland, but they're 3 points worse off. So they're sitting in second place. Western Australia, 46 points. Tasmania, 34 points. And South Australia, 25 points. So, first 2 matches, New South Wales, we'll just look at them. They played South Australia. 42 points to 13 with a scoreline of 187 to 73. So the shots weren't too far off, given the scheme of things. There's 12 rinks are played, so they go out for session 1. It seems to be 3 singles and 3 fours, and then they come back and they play 3 pairs and 3 triples. So they do. So you get, by the looks of it, 3 points for a rink win, 1 point for a rink draw, 20 points if you get the overall. So that's where New South Wales came away there with 42-13. And in game 2, mate, which was played today, they came up against Tasmania. Came away winners. Sorry, looks like a draw overall, 18 apiece in the points. But New South Wales had 200 shots to Tasmania's 162. So Not too sure what's going on there. It says the results have been modified as well. They took 23 points in one shot off them. So what's going on there? But anyway, good to see them, mate. We talked, don't know if it was last week or the week before, we talked quite a bit about the bowling arms. It's good to see them playing away there. A few people still whinging, saying, well, if they've got their own championships, why can't we play in that? Well, you can. You just got to do it with a bowling arm.
Yeah.
So you don't need to go to the doctors anymore and get your bowling arm certificate. You can just pick up a bowling arm and play in it. You're entitled to play in it.
Yep.
So yeah, mate, big supporters here of the bowling arm at the Bowls Academy.
Yep, glad to see that that's a competition out there, and state competition DJ for all those people using bowling arms, and yeah, it's only going to probably help others use them, DJ, that might be a bit hesitant to use them if they see a lot more people out there, and there's a stateside being played with bowling arm players. Then
get an opportunity to represent your state, mate. Why not?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's good to see Bowls New South Wales up covering it as well. So they are. Andrew Lynn's been up here covering things.
That's currently DJ at East Maitland.
East Maitland, yes. Yep. Yes, he did call me about commentary duties, but I'd burst into flames if I walk into that joint, so I'm just going to stay away.
That's DJ's rival club right next to him.
European Championships then, mate. We talked about that last week. Suppose we could say we're a little bit critical the week before when we're trying to look at their website, but mate, they have come good.
You reckon,
They've
DJ?
come good. Plenty of information there on the website, mate. I had a quick play around with it today. It's got all the history of the competition and stuff and where it all came from and things like that, mate. I'm pretty impressed with it. And not only that, the way the competition ran was pretty good too, mate. So if it's all the same with you, I'll go through the finals of the matches, the gold medal matches and the bronze medal matches.
Yep. Let's see who are the countries that fared at the pointy end of that competition, DJ.
That's it, mate. So started off we had women's singles. Bronze medal match was Guernsey against Israel, with Guernsey coming away 21-12. That was Lucy Beer. And we also had then the women's fours bronze medal match, England against Wales, local derby, with the rink skipped by Caroline Taylor of Wales coming away 19-5. Men's pairs. Our old mate Ralph from the Netherlands made it into that section, mate.
Good on you, Ralph.
That game. But Scotland Dunham, 19-10, Darren Weir and Aaron Betts. And in the men's triples bronze medal match, mate, it went to Ireland, with Mark Wilson's triple winning 15-13 over Israel.
Interesting.
So Israel made 2 bronze medal games there. Netherlands made 1, some of the lesser-known nations, so well done to them.
Yeah.
Good to see Ralph getting all the way through to there, mate. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think he's maybe listening to us, DJ, in the podcast. Maybe some tips and tricks. He got through to 4th place. Men's pairs. Had a little look on his playoff game to get it into that, DJ. Playoff game, yes. They had a 3-end playoff game, and shots weren't counted. It was just winning the end.
You what?
Yeah. So it's on
Hands
YouTube.
over shots.
So if anyone wants to watch it, jump on Bulls Europe YouTube page.
Yep.
And you can see Netherlands versus Wales, men's pairs, playoff, 3-end playoff.
So
it's an interesting concept, DJ.
So they played sectional play and then there's been a playoff. Well, like I said, mate, the website's been pretty good. I'm having a look here, just as you talk about that, I'm having a look here at their conditions of play. They've covered all their bases, mate. Having a look at this, I reckon perhaps the Bulls New South Wales State match committee had a say in this, because it's very wordy and very boring. All right, semi-final, right? So everyone's played in sections, right? And then they go into the semi-finals, and then it's the bronze medal and the gold medal match. All right, so before we get back to the results, the semi-finalists will be decided as follows. If there are 2 sections, the section winners and runners-up will qualify for the semi-final. Straightforward.
Yeah.
If there are 3 sections with equal numbers, i.e. 3 sections of 5, the section winners and best runner-up will qualify for the semi-finals. So obviously they'll have a look at the three sections. Whoever's the best second-place team will go through to take up the 4th spot into the semi.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If there are 3 sections with uneven numbers, i.e. 2 sections of 6 and 1 section of 5, which, as you mentioned, in the men's pairs, that seemed to be the case.
That's what was the case, yeah.
The section winners will qualify for the semi-finals, and the second-place teams will compete in a 3-end playoff to decide the 4th semi-place. A draw will take place between the 3 second-place teams. One team will receive a bye into the playoff final, and the other 2 will play a 3-end playoff. The winner will play the 3rd team in the playoff final to qualify for the semi-final. The playoff will consist of 3 ends, as you mentioned. The winner of the toss of the coin will decide who delivers the jack and the first ball on the first end. Thereafter, the end winner will decide. So the old rule of giving the jack and the mat away if you want it. Ends won will decide the winner, not total shots.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, DJ. Sorry, but if we want to attract new people to our sport, and if somebody just happens to jump on and watches that, they will think that the rest of the tournament is played like that. You have to be consistent with what you're doing. You can't go changing how it's played in the middle of the tournament.
Tactics, man, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I think
we play one of our socials. Yeah, we play one of our socials that way, and I've tried to change it. I don't like that. It's just trying to win the ends. Hey, so if I go out and play against you, I get a single shot on the first end, and a single shot on the second end. Right? You've still got. If we're playing, we'll play pairs. Right? We're playing a pairs game. 3-ball pairs.
3-ball pairs. Yeah.
I get one, and then one again. You've got a chance to get 3 to win on the last end, but you don't get that chance because I've won the first 2 ends.
Yeah.
So at least it's a completely different tactic, doesn't it? Really, on the other side of it, I get a 1 on the first end, right? And you guys are getting close in the second. And I'm just going to drive out it potentially.
Yeah.
I lose a 6. You're now 6-1 up, but it's 1 each. And then I win the last end with the last ball of the game. I've actually lost the 3 ends 6-2, but I've gone through 2-1.
Yeah.
Well, that's a brutal way to decide things after you've just played 5 or 6 games in a section.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that, DJ. I think if you're going to play 3 ends, just allow the shot.
Absolutely. You got to make, it's only 3 ends. You might as well make the 3 ends count. You completely eliminate an end there.
Because
change tactics from the way you were playing.
Yeah, because in Ralph's game, they won the first end. At the second end, I can't remember if it was the Welsh lead or the Welsh skip, drew more or less a resting back toucher.
Mm-hmm.
So Ralph skip just basically run at that ball, regardless of where that jack was going to go, or he just needed to get rid of that ball really to win the end or kill it.
Yeah,
his tactics were changed because of that. Yeah, conditions of play.
And they're playing I understand they're playing at a high level. It's the European Championships, and you got to adapt to that. And the rules are there before you go into it. But I'm not a big fan of that. Why not just have a 1-end tie break? Why not just put all 3 teams on the rink at the one time?
No, you're being silly, DJ.
I'm being silly. What? How is that any sillier than playing ends where shots don't count? How is that any sillier? You're a hard man to please. So you are.
I just think from a consistency point of view that if you're gonna change it throughout the tournament, for me it just doesn't sit well. From a viewing point of view, I remember looking at this on YouTube and started watching the live stream, and then I go, hang on a minute, commentator just said that you just win the end. So I was a bit bamboozled as a bowler. I was a bit bamboozled as to, hang on a minute, I've watched some other live stream where they're playing a normal game of bowls where shots count, and next minute I'm watching another live stream where shots don't count and you just got to win the end. But yeah, it's the same competition. I'm like, what is going on? So for a newbie or somebody just into the game, it just doesn't sit well for me, DJ. I know you got a smart comment about me being bamboozled. I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah, obviously your word of the day, toilet paper's working. Are you sponsored by Bamboozled this week? Oh dear. Oh yeah. That's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Righto. Yeah. Oh well. Look, the championship went off pretty well. Well done to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just an interesting way of doing things. But anyway, it's your competition. You run it the way you want. We've got a podcast. We'll talk about what we want. It's always a blessing too when both of us are just always right. Okay, so that was the bronze medalists from the first session. On to the big games and the gold and silver medal games. So women's singles European champion, England versus Guernsey. England came out 21-6 winners. That was Amy Farrow. So no surprises there, really. Amy's an absolute top player.
Yep.
Women's fours, Ireland versus Scotland. Well done, Chloe Wilson's team from Ireland with a 17-11 win over Gail Notman from Scotland.
Nice.
Men's pairs gold medal went to Ireland as well. Jack Moffat and Simon Martin. Well done, fellas, defeating Jersey. Can't read. 19-12. And the men's triples gold, 17-10 win for the bitter old rivals, England versus Scotland. England's triple skipped by Andrew Bryden, was the European champions for this one over Scotland. So well done to them. That was the first half of the event. Then they changed around, mate. So they did. So then the men started playing singles and fours, and the women went to the pairs and the triples. So how do we go there? The bronze medal games. Righto. Men's singles bronze medal. Czech Republic against Scotland. Scotland 21-15 iron bets over Craig Hurry from the Czech Republic. There you go. Doesn't really sound like a Czech name, does it?
No, not really.
Hardly. Moving on to the men's fours. England against Israel. 13-12 win there, mate, for Israel. Won the last three ends.
Nice.
They won end 13 to go to one behind. So it was 12-11. Then they won the next end to go 12-all, and they won the final end 13 to win 13-12. Well done to Danny Slodanowic. Yeah, that sounds like an Israeli name. So 13-12 win over Andrew Bryden. And in the women's pairs, bit of a one-sided game here. Jersey against Scotland, but it was in the way of Lindsay Gretchen, 23-10. She skipped her pair over Rachel Sinclair. And then the women's triples again, a little bit one-sided. Chloe Wilson got her Irish team to the final, but they went down to Amy Farrow's English team 24-12. So that was the bronze medal games. Finally, then on to the gold medal games. Men's singles. Joe Dawson from England, Ross Davis from Jersey. Joe came out on top there with a 21-15 win. Men's fours gold, 13-12 win, Ireland versus Scotland, and it was Mark Wilson's Ireland rink that got the gold medal there, mate, with a single shot on the last end to win 13-12. They led 12-9 coming home. Lost a 1 and a 2 to go 12-all playing the last end, but then they got the shot at the last end to get the win.
Nice.
Women's pairs gold, England versus Ireland. Well done to Harriet Stevens' team, 16-9 over Shauna O'Neill and Hannah Cochran from Ireland. And finally then the women's triples, Wales versus Scotland, 20-12 win for Caroline Taylor's triple from Wales. So well done. That was all our winners. They also had the team event, mate, where they've got a trophy named after Andy Mickelson. Now, there's not too much of a story there. I'd like to see a bit more about who Andy was. Obviously, getting the trophy named after you is pretty good. So, from what I can gather from a few Facebook posts, pardon me, Andy was just a director of Bowls Europe. Okay. Before he's passed away. So, they've named the team trophy after that. Mm-hmm. And the team trophy went to Scotland with 60 points, 1 point ahead of Ireland on 59. So, tied overall there. Scotland, Ireland, England made up the podium. Wales fourth. No surprise there. Jersey in fifth. Well done to Israel, up there in sixth ahead of Guernsey, Isle of Man, Spain, Netherlands, Turkey, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Switzerland, France, Hungary, Falkland Islands, and Sweden down at the bottom there. But well done to all those that went and competed in the European Championships at Northfield.
Yeah, hopefully, DJ, that tournament grows bigger and better year on year, and it's nice to see some other maybe nations being allowed to, or putting some more teams in there, DJ, and seeing that grow.
Well, there's plenty of other little countries in Europe. Hopefully it's a stepping stone for some names to be big names. Like good on Ralph there from the Netherlands having a go. Those two that we spoke about coming all the way over from the Falkland Islands to have a go. Czech Republic, Israel, like countries we never would have thought ever played the game. It's good to see them actually playing in that. Yep. Making finals and things, coming away with medals, going to take them back to the country. How'd you get that? Oh, long bowls. Someone else takes it up. You never know what you're going to find, mate. So absolutely well done to everyone behind or Bowls Europe, sorry. They've fairly changed it in the last couple of years from what it was, and it seems to be going from strength to strength, and hopefully it continues to do so.
Good stuff, DJ. Yeah, well done.
Okay, bud, not much else to go into around the greens. No real hot topics this week for me to have a rant about, so I'm going to pass it on to you with Coach's Corner, always a popular segment. Mate, one thing that's constantly asked to me, what makes you good at the game, or not me in particular, but if you want to be good at the game, what's one of the best things you can do? And it's always down to consistency, mate, isn't it? So, as a coach, what's some of the key elements of consistency that you want to coach into people so as they can get to the top of the game, or at least play to the best of their ability?
Look, I think, DJ, there's a few fundamentals to get right in your delivery in order to achieve that consistency. I think the delivery can be sort of broken down into a few different parts. I believe, DJ, that those parts that we can look at and sort of not necessarily trying to aim for perfection, but we need to try and get certain markers within your delivery correct. Otherwise, you don't have that consistency. So basically, we've got your stance, or where your feet are on the mat, DJ. Grip of the ball. You've got your stance. You got bending down to deliver the ball. You've got your step, and then delivering the ball. And that's a few of the key pointers. And obviously, we've got some variables throughout there, but there's definitely some points that need to be consistent. So to start off, DJ, you've got your stance, feet on the mat. Mats aren't that wide, DJ, that we stand on. But if you stand on one side of the mat to stand on the other side of the mat, your delivery point where you're releasing the ball can vary. Probably sort of 2 feet, DJ, maybe.
A little bit under that probably for a width of the mat, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, definitely.
So being consistent on where you stand on the mat each time, if you're going to just randomly rock up, just plant your foot wherever it lands, that could be a big difference in where that point of release. You may have the exact same delivery every time, but if you're not on the same position of the mat, your ball's going to end up different grass, different green. That's a consistent point we need to have. Foot placed on the mat, same position every time.
Absolutely. I draw that back to another part of it. It's not a big part of your delivery, but it's your pre-delivery routine as well. Making sure that's the same every time, how you approach them. If you're approaching them at the same time, or the same way every time, you should be able to get your foot in the right location.
It's
not a hard thing to do. I know some of the mats are, wherever you go, they're a bit worn or whatever, but the majority of the mats we play on are those henselite ones or those felt ones with the green felt underneath, and they've got the diamonds there. It's always something to take your mark off. Just look for a defect or a marking on the mat that you can just make sure your toes on all the time, I suppose, isn't it?
That's it. And usually, DJ, from my point of view, I use the outside of my right foot. So I'm right-handed, and I use the outside of my right foot as the direction of where I'm going to sort of take my line off.
Yep.
So if you're playing on a wide swinging hand, you're going to aim your foot. The outside of your right foot should be pointed a little bit further out towards that boundary peg or towards the boundary of the rink. If you're playing a fairly straightish hand, you're going to point your toes further, sort of straight down the middle of the rink. So the outside point of your foot is sort of the line that your arm's going to swing on, and the point where you're hopefully going to release the ball.
Yeah, well, from my perspective, I try to visualize a line from a big toe into the drawing line or whatever line I'm playing. So I just take that line off my big toe.
Interesting. Two different views, but obviously same kind of principle that your foot is pointing towards where you want to throw the ball. Next step, DJ, we're going to look at is grip of the ball. It has to be consistent and has to allow for the ball to come out as smooth as you can. No wobbles. No wobbles of the ball. I've seen you, DJ, a few wobbly ones coming down.
No, you haven't. You're a liar. You're a liar. I mean, the old end over end trick's always good, isn't it?
A few pineapples, DJ, in your day?
A few pineapples. A few turnips.
So, just has to be comfortable, but if you can get that ball out as smooth as you can, find that grip that you can get that ball out consistent with as little wobble as possible. Obviously, if you have a wobble coming out of your delivery, it's going to take all the sort of bias out of the ball a bit, or take the ball longer to take bias as it goes down the green, depending on how much wobble is in the ball. So,
any advice on how you'd line that ball up in your hand, mate, to try and keep that consistent? Like, I think realistically, the textbook idea is that the last point of contact with the ball is your middle finger because it's the longest one.
Yeah. Look, I line up my 4 fingers, DJ, on the running face of the ball. My thumb sits sort of comfortably on the side, and as long as those 4 fingers sort of are all pointing in the same direction, then hopefully that ball travels down that line that your hand's going to sort of push it down. Look, I've seen people who got claw grips, DJ, that their fingers are all spread out and throw it all over the bottom of the ball. Look, whatever works for you. If you can get that, if it's a claw grip and you can get that ball out smoothly every time, can't really say that you're doing something wrong.
The thumb down the middle of the running surface always gets me. How people can hold it like that.
Yeah, I don't know how people can hold it.
If it works, mate. If it works
for you. Yep, absolutely. Like, you go back and you look at some of the deliveries, DJ, of some of the elite players.
Ian Taylor, what a delivery.
Jeremy Henry, what a delivery. But it's consistent every time. and that's
Exactly.
that's the key thing.
It's not the video of the delivery you need to be watching. It's the still image of when the ball is released.
Yep.
Is what you need to focus on, because it is going to be pretty much the same every single time.
Yep. And
So
you could probably look, DJ, at bowls as nearly from a golfing perspective as well. Not every single pro golfer has the same swing. They all have little intricacies of their own swing and how they put their sort of mark on their swing. But there's some key things throughout that delivery that they need to get right.
That's it. Like, you're always taught, keep your feet on the ground.
Yep.
And the world number one player, Scotty Scheffler, looks like he's on the dance floor every time he releases. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, jeebers, and how much has he won this year?
Yeah.
So it just shows you his point of contact with the ball, everything's exactly the way it needs to be, and it's consistently there, and he knows where it's going to go. It's the same as you said with those guys we were just talking about in the delivery. When they release that ball down to the ground, it's the same every single time. They get a consistent delivery, they get a consistent result.
Yep. Next point, DJ, would be your stance. You can have an upright stance. I've seen people standing upright. Some people are half crouched. Some people down really low to the mat. There's no right or wrong. It's really up to each individual player. But that's sort of the start of your delivery, and where you start from has to be the same. I wouldn't really advise people on standing upright, next delivery, bend down a little bit more, next delivery. It doesn't matter if I bend down a little bit more in the next one. You just have to keep it consistent and do the same thing. And then after that, obviously, is when you start to bend, and you have to get down low, DJ.
Get low.
I know it's hard for some maybe of our older listeners out there. As the years clock on, DJ, it's going to get harder for you to bend down and deliver that ball. You might be going to your bowling arm.
It's there already. It's back of mine. Honestly, mate, it's just celebrated its 75th birthday last week. Oh, mate. It's not good. I'm looking forward to this 17-hour flight from Perth, mate, when I go home. It's going to be fantastic.
So getting low to the grass is definitely key. We don't condone any bouncing from the hip, DJ, do we?
No, we don't, mate. We do not.
So if people are finding their delivery that they're not able to get down as low as what they should do or could do, maybe potentially a bowling arm is something that they can look to, DJ, and still perform at high levels.
By all means, yeah. If you're letting it go from the hip, you need to look at going to the bowling arm. You don't realise what greenkeepers have to go through to keep these things right. And then with the amount of artificials coming into play now, like you just damage the undersurface of that there, and it's a lot to repair it. So
yeah,
and that's why the bowling arm's there. We want to keep people like that in the game.
Yep. So DJ, after you're low, you bend, get low down in your delivery. Obviously, the next thing is the step forward. Step forward should be comfortable. Shouldn't overstride. You should really remain balanced, DJ, within your step. So what I find from a bit of coaching, DJ, over the years is that people that are off balance when they deliver their bowl is usually because of their step. Their step's too short, step too long, or they step like one foot in front of the other, like as if you're doing a lunge. So there's no balance. So you got to keep your feet shoulder width apart, which keeps you stable in whenever you step forward. And that's usually the key things that I've seen over the years, DJ, when people are unbalanced, whenever they're delivering a bowl, and it's something that just looks a bit unsightly whenever you see somebody delivering a bowl and the next minute they're taking 2 or 3 steps to the left because they're about to fall over.
Yeah. Well, some of the egos in the game, they can't help that. Bit top heavy.
Yeah, so just a comfortable step, DJ, shoulder width apart.
Natural, mate. It all comes down to natural too, don't it? Like whatever's comfortable for you is going to work for you. It's not necessarily going to work for me. Not necessarily going to work for you. Like we've 2 completely different deliveries.
Yeah, having said that, with that, it's a comfortable step. Step does kind of relate back to the speed of the green as well, DJ. So you think whenever you play on a really quick green, you usually don't step as much forward because you've got slower motion. Your arm swings slower. So you got to deliver that ball really gently on a really quick green. So everything slows down, step slows down, and you take a slightly smaller step. I think, DJ, back to the days whenever you played on those lush greens in Ireland. Yeah. How big was your step?
There was a couple of photographs. I wouldn't be able to play like that now. I'm not flexible enough for that now. Absolutely. You remember South Pacific Pairs a few years back? We played down at Tarugi. We played east-west off the beach. that was running 20 seconds away from the beach and about 10 seconds back into it because of the wind. I was playing off a fixed stance that day. That was incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's definitely been a few challenging games, DJ, I've played on, and a few games for Tarrant Point over the years. And there's one, DJ, we played at Belrose State Pennant Finals back in, I think it was 2014, 2015.
I remember that. So there was no live stream, but I think Belrose done their best to do like
they tried
an online radio. And I was sitting there trying to listen to it, and the game went for about 5.5 hours because it was running 20 seconds or something.
So quick, it was over 20 seconds. The green, and I think they tried the best, DJ, to make that green as quick as they could.
Yeah.
And it sort of backfired on them a little bit. We ended up coming victorious away from Belrose that day, but
was that the flag that ended up the top of some Canadian mountain somewhere?
It could have been, DJ. Could have been. But that green will always stick in my memory as the quickest green I've ever played on, and you really couldn't stop them, DJ. There were so many bowls from all the players on that green were top quality bowlers, some international state players at the time, and even they were struggling. It was really ridiculous. Playing on a really quick green that quick. But going back, DJ, the last point, delivery, pendulum arm swing, and a sort of palm facing. Whenever you release the ball, palm should be facing down that line of delivery. And that would be the key points, DJ, for what you're looking, a bit of consistency in your delivery, and sort of the basics.
Right, mate. So now that we've sort of talked about the key elements of the delivery, what have you got up your sleeve for those that are maybe struggling with certain elements? How would you prepare for that consistent delivery or get yourself back to being in a consistent delivery?
I think, DJ, looking at it as those components that we spoke about. So, for instance, if you're having trouble with your grip, bowls coming out really wobbly on your delivery, go down to the green, and all you're thinking about is that grip.
Yeah.
So if you're going to change your grip, have a look at it. Maybe use a claw grip. Let's go to fingers closed in a straight line along the running face of the bowl. That's all you're going to focus on. You're not going to worry about how you deliver. Well, not how you deliver a bowl, but you're not going to worry about your step or your stance on the mat. You're just going to worry about that grip on the bowl.
You're probably not even worrying about where the ball ends up, I suppose, to a point.
You might put a target down just to roll the ball, but you're not really worried if it gets anywhere close to it.
Yeah, it's all about feel, isn't it?
The key is, to get that feel of that new grip, and that you don't have to think about it. So you'll maybe, first practice session, you'll deliver, spend half hour, an hour delivering bowls, but it's just consciously focusing on that new aspect that you want to change in your delivery. So it's only one aspect at a time. You can't go down and think about, I'm going to change my stance, my step, my grip, all in one session, because you're just overthinking it.
Yeah.
You need to just pick one aspect of what we spoke about.
Yeah.
And just repetitive until you don't actually have to think about it. You're picking up that bowl and you're placing it in that position with barely a second thought.
Yeah.
And that's become ingrained into your delivery. And once you've got that down pat, then you can go, okay, I might look at my step. Move on to that, maybe in a couple of weeks' time. Depends how often you go down rolling up. How often you get those TBA targets out, DJ?
They've been out twice since I got them, and I've rolled up twice since I've had them.
So just break it down into individual components. Work on one thing. It might be a couple of practice sessions. It might take you a couple of weeks. It might take you a month. Everyone's different. And you just focus on that one component that you want to change.
On the other side of things too, but if things are going well, you want to make sure that you don't rest on your laurels, or you don't get too comfortable in your own skin, because that's when you start to creep in the bad habits, and you don't go through your pre-shot routine or something. You don't focus on that mat. Then all of a sudden things do go wrong, and you're like, "Oh, what's going on here?" You sort of got to make sure whatever you do in the game, you're practicing. Whatever way you set up on that mat during the game, you want to make sure you do that in practice every time too.
Yeah.
So you do.
And I think that's what the elite bowlers definitely do, DJ. They'll find a bit of form not there anymore, but they'll see, okay, they'll realize pick up what they might be doing wrong. They'll have an inkling into consistently throwing tight forehands. Why am I throwing tight forehands? Let's have a look at it. They'll isolate it. Okay, this might be the reason why. This is slightly changed. We'll focus on this of correcting this back to what it used to be, maybe a month ago, 2 months ago. And they're isolating that area that they want to change in their delivery, and they're focusing on getting that back to what it was, whether it be their arm swing, step forward, bending down low. Maybe they're just not bending down. That is what they used to.
Yep.
They've stood up a little bit in their delivery, and it's just getting down low.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Or if you're like me and you're struggling, just put yourself in good teams. Get carried. It's a good way to go. Well, mate, that's how to be consistent on the green, and hopefully those people that are listening to that are consistently listening to the podcast as well.
Absolutely.
So that's us for another week, mate. We'll be back again next week. I've got major singles coming up this weekend, mate. Oof. So I am not looking forward to that, but I have entered it. But yeah, look, I'm not a big fan of singles, but you got to play on these singles.
There's no one to carry you, DJ.
There's no one to carry. Exactly. Can't put myself in a good tape there, mate. But still got accused of rigging draws, though. I can't win any. But anyway. That's this weekend for me, mate. I know you're sort of in a bit of a quiet time at the minute, so just enjoy that time with the family. For everyone else, we'll be back next week. Keep that little disc on the inside and tune in next week for episode 25.
Good luck on the greens, everyone. We'll catch you next week.